Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday live stream. Today, we have a great topic, one that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a little bit. But first of all, let me welcome everybody in. Welcome in Miss Jen and Donnell Rhodes. Cruising is fun anytime. Miss Cheryl, welcome in. And Miss Linda, thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday today. I'm having a great day and I can't wait to share this hour with you guys and all the information I have for you guys this evening. Hopefully that you guys had a great time and you're ready for the show and then relax for the rest of the evening. So welcome in everybody. Today, it's a great topic. It's one that I've been wanting to share with you guys for a little bit. Is what is the best itinerary for which season? Hello, Miss Donnell. Thank you so much for being here, my love. Um, it's one of the things that I've been wanting to share with you guys because a lot of people tend to book cruises, and some people have asked me, when is the best time and for which seasons are the best time to actually cruise or maybe possibly travel. So I have that information out for you guys, and as of you guys know, or for those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Jacqueline Gonzalez or Jackie Gonzalez. Everybody knows me as Tinkerbell or Tink. I am a travel advisor for Expedia Cruises. So I do all things travel. I don't just book the cruises. I do all sorts of travel for you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can email me or give me a call. But let's start the show because we have a lot to unpack. And I just can't wait to share this information with you guys that I prepare for you guys today. So a lot of people have contacted me and they have said, okay, so when is the best time to travel? Some people are kind of worried about hurricane season and things like this. So, I thought about, giving you some kind of like the top itineraries for every season and when to go for some seasons and for maybe some may not be your thing to book. I know that a lot of people try not to book a lot during the hurricane season here in the state of Florida, but trust and believe sometimes you'll find some really good perks and really good prices for those seasons. And not all the times the hurricane are going to hit, during the time of, that you're traveling. But if that were the case that a hurricane comes through like this one this past week in the Bahamas, the cruise lines will still do their courses. They'll just, they'll just take you a different route. So welcome in, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. So did you know that choosing the right season can make or break your cruise? That is the question. After sailing, so many different times of the years and researching loads of itineraries, I have picked plenty of tips that can help you plan the perfect trip for you guys. The time of the year you cruise can completely change your experience, that's for sure, from weather, from crowd, prices, and actually some open ports because not all the ports are open full year round. So, and not all the ships go to the different ports either. So in this live stream, I want to show you, we're going to start with the winter cruises and we're going to go from winter all the way to summer or fall, you can say. So in winter, when I was looking at some information, winter might not be the first season for a lot of people that cruises. When planning cruises, and the reason why some people don't want to plan it around Thanksgiving or around Christmas season, but trust and believe that some of these winter cruises offer unique itineraries that can lead to memorable cruises for you guys. And here's what you might consider cruising is in the cooler month might be the thing for you. Winter is arguably, because it's the best time to cruise in the Caribbean. A lot of people ask me this question, is it cold in the Caribbean? In the Caribbean, it does not get cold. The warm and mostly dry weather provides the perfect escape from colder northern climates. This season sees less rainfall and more sunny days, which is ideal for beach activities and water sports. So keep in mind when you're cruising to the Caribbean during the winter season, it's still hot over there. It's not like really hot, but it's still hot. And you don't have any rain season and there's more sunny days like I just mentioned to you. And you could do more beach activities and water sports. I will say the water could be a little bit cooler during the winter seasons, but not like to the extremes where it's really, really cold that you can't get in. Additionally, the seas are usually calmer during these months, meaning smooth sailing conditions because there's nothing on the Caribbean, like hurricanes or things like that. So, similar to the Caribbean, Southeast Asia, you can enjoy the dry seasons during the North American and Europe winter months. Make sure you time to avoid the heavy crowds, and things like that, because those can be disrupted to travel. Make sure that you kind of check which are the best times, to go, because sometimes depending on the year and the time that you go during the winter season, it could be high peak season as well. Winter is also an excellent time to explore vibrant cities, indulge in the street food culture, and experience the region's stunning natural landscapes while you're cruising or traveling during those times. If you've never been to Australia or New Zealand during the northern hemisphere during winter, it is a great time to explore these destinations as well. Welcome in, Carnival Cruise addicts. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, hello. How are you doing? You can also experience everything from the urban attractions of Sydney to Melbourne to the natural wonders of the Great Barrier Reef in New Zealand national parks during the winter season. A lot of you guys maybe not know this, but this is something that you can experience. If maybe that's something that you're trying to do or you have in your bucket list, this might be something that you might want to try to explore. There's plenty of opportunities for outdoors activities such as snorkeling, hiking, exploring local cultures. The warmer weathers are extended daylight saving hours times provide ample time to enjoy the vast of activities available in these countries. So make sure that, when you're building your itineraries, you might want to consider something like that. Just keep in mind that from Florida all the way to Australia, it might be like 20 hours worth of travel. Just keep that in mind, or wherever you are, depending. A winter cruise through the Panama Canal can offer a journey throughout one of the world's most incredible engineering feats, combining history with stunning tropical environments. These routes allow you to visit and witness the complex of lock systems in operation to explore the diverse ecosystem and communities that line in the historic waterways. So guys, if you've never been to the Panama Canal, maybe that's something that you might want to consider exploring through the winter season. So keep in mind that there's a lot of possibilities that maybe you did not know that you can consider for winter, in whether it's traveling by plane or on a cruise. One of the most appealing aspects of winter cruising is the reduced crowds, with the exception of, some holiday weekends around Christmas and New Year's that, the ships are not going to be as full capacity, meaning more space in public areas, shorter queues, onboard activities, and the amenities that they have might be a little bit laid back because there's not a lot of people traveling there. So that's something that you need to consider, when traveling over the winter. The winter cruises also offer unique experiences that can be found on other seasons, as you can know. While beach days might be off the table in some ports, depending on where you're going, you can still enjoy seasonal activities like visiting Christmas markets in Europe, if that's something that you like to do. With a river cruising, that's another cool thing that is happening now, with celebrity cruises. If you guys know, they have these new river cruises and they're actually going to Christmas markets. So that might be something that you might be interested in. And taking a wildlife tours in less crowded environments, these are one-of-a-kind experience that can make winter cruises particularly special. If you're planning on going to Antarctica and doing that crazy water plunge, then winter cruises might be great for you as well. I have a friend of mine. Welcome in, Miss Emily. Thank you so much for being here. I have a friend of mine that went to Antarctica. They did the plunge and they said it was a one-time deal. I don't think that they will ever do it again. He said the water was freezing like crazy. But I figured, why not? You're there. It's a one in a lifetime kind of thing to do. So finally, winter can be a great time to finally cruise. To find cruise deals. especially in the early parts of the season, with the exception of Christmas and New Year holidays. If those are the seasons that you're, or the times that you're trying to travel, please make sure you book those at least within a year to 6 months ahead of time. They will go fast and the price will change the closer you get to those sailings. Many lines offer attractive prices to fill the cabins. January, in particular, can be some of the year's lowest prices, making an excellent choice for budget-conscious traveler. So if you're thinking of trying to travel on off-peak season, I will definitely recommend after the New Year's, like the week after the New Year's, through all the way through end of February is a good off-peak season to travel. April, the second week of April all the way to Mother's Day is also a great time to travel. But we're going to jump now to spring cruises because we have a lot to unpack. We have 4 seasons. We already finished one. I'm not sure what you guys are thinking about the winter seasons, but I am all for winter season, which is kind of weird because I'm actually going on a cruise in November and winter really starts in December. So I'm actually going in the fall season and it's great. I've done fall season cruising and I love it. It's really nice. I've done spring season and I've done summer. I have not done winter. Well, actually, that's not true. I actually did winter in the Caribbean because I did it in February. So that's still considered the winter season. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about spring. Spring cruising is popular for its mild weather and fresh start nature gets during the time. It is a great season to visit places known for their natural beauty and lively cultural events. Guys, spring cruises can be hectic. A lot of children can be on those cruise ships, so keep that in mind when you're traveling. Now, if the Mediterranean is what's calling your name, it's a great time to start up with the warm weather over there. It is not too hot yet to do the Mediterranean and it's not too cold. This is the best time to visit cities like old sites in Italy, Greece, Spain, because there aren't too many tourists and the scenery is just beautiful with everything in bloom. And I actually can stop right here real quick because when I went to Europe in June, I went the beginning of June. And it was kind of like when it was off, the spring was coming off and the summer was coming in and everything was blooming already. So, and I did notice that the crowds were way less when I went. So keep that in mind. If that's something that you're possibly trying to kind of cruise during that season, keep that in mind because all seasons are not the same. We have a December, February cruise so much less sweaty than the summer. That is very true, CCA. That is very, very true. It just depends, like when you want to do the cruise part of it. It's all about timing and preparation and figuring out, exactly where you want to go. If you're trying to go to Japan in the spring, Japan is all about the cherry blossoms. These blossoms are important to Japanese culture and they're incredibly pretty. If you've never been, oh my God, I suggest you try it. I have one of my clients that actually did it and they sent me some pictures. It is just so pretty when they have the whole straight row of cherry blossom trees and it's just so pretty to go over there. Cruising during this season lets you enjoy the local cherry blossom festivals in Japan and see the park temples covered in the pink and white flowers. The weather is also very nice. Check out both the old and the new attractions in Japan during that time. The Caribbean is also a great, in the spring, it's safe from hurricanes, not too hot yet. The islands, in the islands look amazing. It's a lot greener in the islands, and the weather is just right for beach activities and water sports. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of people traveling during the springtime, so it depends when in the spring are you going to be traveling. The spring cruises, they often, they often coincide with local festivals and events. So if there's a festival or an event that you're trying to attend, then you might want to find an itinerary that covers that event and maybe you can participate in it. So that's something, that you can also do. If you're trying to go to Europe, for example, if you might want to catch the Spring Flower Festival and the outdoor concerts, giving the taste of the local life and customs, then spring will be the thing for you to do. Finally, spring brings life of the outdoor, making it perfect time for nature walks and wildlife spotting. Choosing a spring cruise means seeing the world wake up after winter, participating in fun local events, and enjoying a pleasant weather. Um, this mix of beautiful sights and fun activities and good weather makes spring great choice for cruising, guys. Now we're gonna go into the summer cruises, the ones that we like, when it's super hot. Maybe you, I don't know. I love the hot weather, so I love some hot cruises. So summer cruising allows you to experience more of the outdoor adventures and cultural richness under the warm, beautiful sun. By choosing the right itinerary requires considering a few key factors. For those seeking cooler escape, filled with the natural wonders, Alaska will offer you breathtaking experiences from watching glacier to Glacier Bay National Park to wildlife sightseeing and Denali National Park. Keep in mind, guys, that when you're booking an Alaska cruise, you're looking in through the middle of May all the way to September, and sometimes they push it a little bit to the beginning of October. So if that's something that you say, you know what, I'm tired of the Caribbean, I just want to do Alaska, I want a little bit of a chill, because keep in mind, just because you hear the word Alaska does not mean it's snowing in Alaska. Depending on when you go, the weather can go anywhere between 60 and sometimes 80 degrees. And it's daylight time longer over there in Alaska too. So keep that in mind. The long daylight hours are perfect for activities such as kayaking and hiking. And if you go Northern Europe, it offers culturally rich experiences with beautiful fjords and lively cities like Stockholm and Copenhagen, where summer festivals or outdoor dinings are abundant. Welcome in. The Queen of Disney has arrived. How are you doing today, Miss Samara? Thank you so much for being here. So Samara cruises during the Caribbean in December and May. So, and she loves her Lago Marcos. I was actually talking to her earlier today, and she will not trade Fort Lauderdale for anything in the world. So let's continue with our summer. However, while popular, the Mediterranean and the Caribbean are very crowded during summer. For some of these regions, considering selective itineraries that visit less crowded spots or travel during the shoulder months to avoid the peak tourist season. Additionally, it is very important for you to make note that the late summer coincides with the hurricane season, the crazy stuff that happens in the Caribbean every summer between June and November. In the Caribbean, which typically runs from June and November, this period can see unpredictable weather. So it's advisable to plan cruise earlier in the summer or choose an itinerary that can be flexible to adjust. I'm going to stop right here real quick, guys. I just want to give you guys some information on this. So when it comes to cruising during the summer seasons, and if you have, let's say, a cruise, like what happened last week with the hurricane that was passing by the Bahamas, the cruise line, you don't have to cancel it. You don't have to move it. What would happen is, if that were the situation, the cruise line will change your itinerary and move the cruise elsewhere. I did hear that one of the Carnival ships that was supposed to go to the Bahamas went to Canada instead. So they changed their whole itinerary. I do have a client that left on Sunday that she was supposed to go to Perfect Day. They completely took Perfect Day out and they took them someplace else, and they went to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Roatan. So the ships will move around. You are going to be super safe. There's no need to worry about, being in a hurricane. I travel during the summer seasons. I travel during hurricane season, and I have traveled when there's a hurricane on the Caribbean. And I've never had a situation with any of that. They actually are very cautious, but they make sure that the cruising still continues. They just take you someplace else. Now, if the cruise, let's say you were getting on your cruise tomorrow and there's a hurricane coming, let's say through Port Canaveral, and that cruise might get canceled, then you get an option letter letting you All right, I guess we're back now. Okay, it depends. I don't know what happened to the Wi-Fi there. We just got disconnected for a little bit, but I think we should be fine. Let me know. Okay, we're back. We're connected. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to the to my Wi-Fi. It just does that. I don't know why. But in any case, you get a letter from the cruise line giving you some options, and then you figure out what the best option is for you, and then you continue. Now, if you want to go and they make some changes, sometimes you get some onboard credit or perks, depending on what the situation is. So keep that in mind. Not all of it is bad. So booking early and planning your port visits for morning or late evening can help mitigate the impact of the crowds as well during the summer season. Also, opting for cruises that offers unique local experiences for those that cater to specific interests, such as gastronomy, history, and nature, can significantly enhance your experience. Now, we're going to go to the last topic, which is autumn cruises. And then we're going to open it to the floor. And I want to have this conversation with you. And I want you to tell me, which time of the year do you prefer to cruise? And do you have anything in mind, like a specific place that you want to have more information when it comes to cruising during maybe one of these seasons? Maybe if you're planning a trip to Europe, or maybe seeing Egypt, or maybe going on a river cruise, anything like that. So I can give you some information. So we're going to talk about autumn cruises. Autumn cruises is one of those really cool parts, and I like it because it kind of combines kind of like the summer and the winter in between. So so this one combines the mild, pleasant weather with the stunning visual changes of the season, making it the perfect time to choose looking at the escape for summer crowds and experience the tranquility and beauty of nature transformation. So sometimes, depending on where you're going in autumn or in the fall season, you can kind of see the changing of the leaves color and all of that, depending on where you're going. If it's the Caribbean, you're not going to see the changing of the leaves, guys, because Caribbean is always hot and there's no changing of leaves colors over there. You only see it when you're going like Canada or maybe Europe during the winter seasons and things like that. During this season, New England and Canada become prime cruising destination, offering spectacular views of the vibrant fall foliage. The shores are hillside turns into a canvas of orange, red, and yellows. It is so pretty to see. And the cooler weather makes exploring charming ports towns rich in history and cultures the most enjoyable, because you're not sweating like a bullet. You're just having, it's a little bit chilly, but not too cold and not too hot. It's great. And sometimes it could be the great weather that you can just get off the ship and truly enjoy. It's kind of similar to going to the Mediterranean, where it offers the quiet yet still warm. It's a retreat for the perfect visiting of ancient ruins, sipping coffee in outdoor cafes, and strolling the cobblestone streets of Italy, Greece, and Spain without the intense heat or the crowds of the summer. And I will definitely say the crowds of the summer, because as we were finishing off our Europe cruise in June, and we were kind of coming back middle of June, the crowds you could tell there were more people than when we got there. So I agree to this information, because I was researching all of this information for you, and they are accurate. River cruises in Europe, such as the along the Rhine, the Danube, and the Seine, are also particularly appealing in the fall. These cruises provide breathtaking views of medieval towns and landscape draped in autumn colors, and passengers can often participate in the seasonal cultural activities like local wine harvest festivals. This time of the year is also excellent for wildlife, if that's something that you enjoy, as cooler temperatures encourage animals to move actively during the day, enhancing opportunities of sightseeing. Aside from the natural and cultural perks, autumn cruising typically offers best deals, which is true, with cruising lines eager to fill cabins after the high season rush. This combination of fewer tourists, reduced prices, and the seasonal beauty of autumn makes cruising during these months a highly appealing option for a relaxed cruise. Technically, if you think about it, the best cruise itinerary depends largely on what your experience you want and you value most. So I do agree that you can craft any itinerary that offers the most enjoyment and satisfaction by allowing your travels with the natural advantage of the season's interest. So remember, it's always about the weather preferences, the crowd comfort levels, the cultural interest, event timing, budget constraints. So it depends exactly on what you're kind of like feeling, if you think about it. So it's just one of those things that it depends on what you feel like doing or where you feel like traveling to is where you're going to fit in, whether you're doing a summer, a fall, a winter, or a spring cruise, guys. So with all of that information, and I was researching, they have a lot of great like opportunities. Like today, for instance, Royal Caribbean, if you are a person that likes to be in suites, Royal Caribbean has a special today for the suite people that are trying to go on these bookings. So if that's something that you're interested in, just give me a call and I can give you all that information. Um, our friend just got diverted from the Caribbean to Canada. So I'm guessing they probably were on that Carnival cruise that I was talking about, and they got a $300 onboard credit. So if you think about it, yeah, they may not have come to the Caribbean, they went to Canada, but they got to see probably something maybe that they have not seen yet. And they also got, $300 of onboard credit. So it doesn't, it's one of those things when it comes to cruising. I always tell everybody, be prepared, for change, because everything can go flawless, but be prepared for change. And the reason, because I have endured change while on a cruise, like when we were on the Beyond in our winter cruise that we went in February last year, I think it was. We had a change. We were supposed to go to Cayman Islands and we got canceled out of Cayman Islands. And they just, it was canceled altogether. We were en route to Cartagena, Colombia that day because we couldn't come in because it was too much wind and we couldn't do the tendering because the ship, that area in Cayman Islands does not have an actual port that the ship can dock in. So be prepared. We didn't even get any onboard credit or anything like that, but please be prepared for change when traveling on cruises, when traveling by plane, in any type of travel. Be prepared for change, because even on your travel, like on your flights, it can be canceled. It can be moved to a different time, because it has happened. Delays have happened. I will say that if you're traveling for cruising, please don't travel for cruising on the same day of your cruise, guys. We just had another situation happen this weekend where the person traveled on the day of their flight, got canceled twice, and they were not able to make it. By the time she got on the plane, they made it here, I think it was like about 1:00. By the time she got her luggage, she got to the port, it was already 2:45 to 3:00, and they lost their money and all of that. They did not have any travel insurance. So keep in mind when traveling, even if you're coming, let's say from Atlanta to Port Canaveral, which is a hop, skip, and a jump, always try to do it the day before, unless you know for sure that you're going to get on board, or you have a plan B that if that does not work, you're probably going to drive over here and make it within, because you can make it, if you get up early, you can probably make it to Port Canaveral within 5 or 6 hours from Georgia, depending on where in Georgia you are. So keep that in mind. Travel insurance is always a must have. You never know what's going to happen. I know that a lot of people say, I feel healthy, I don't have a problem, this, that, and the other, I don't need it. And then something happens, and here we are in the situation trying to figure out situations for you to help you out with your travel. If traveling from Canada, Samara says, do at least 2 to 3 days to Fort Lauderdale before the cruise. And then she's going to hit you with stay at Lagomar after this. Watch. She's going to put, and stay at Lagomar, it's a great place to stay. You know what? I tell you, if Lagomar was hearing all of my live streams, we should get sponsored by Lagomar for all the times that we put them out there. Thank you, Samara. But just try to travel a couple of days, maybe a day, if depending on where you're traveling. If you're doing Europe, I suggest 2 days because the time difference is 6 hours. So at least to give you a day to kind of like accommodate your time frame and all of that. So keep in mind that depending on where you travel is the amount of days you want to, be able to get there before. Because even if you say I'm going to travel 2 days before to Europe, it's not like if you're getting you're getting there the very next day in the morning. So if you leave here, let's say like we did at 4:30, we didn't get to Rome till 12:30 p.m. the next day. So just keep in mind, the time frame, travel protection, and also, depending on the season you're going, keep in mind that it could be any changes. If you're going through the summer, like for the hurricanes, there could be changes. So the best time to cruise is either winter, spring, or the fall. And if you're going to do the fall, make sure it is after like November, after the hurricane season has kind of like went through, and then you should be good to go. I have traveled on pretty much all the seasons. I think April to me is the best time to cruise, like after the whole rush of the spring break vacation. Like the last 2 weeks of April is a good time to go on a cruise. You have no hurricane season. It's kind of like when the end of spring and kind of like summer is starting. That's a good time to cruise. If you're going to Europe, like how I did in June, then I would do end of May, beginning of June, so that you don't have like a lot of crowds. That's a really great time to cruise to Europe, because then after that, the crowd starts and it gets really hot. When I say really hot, it's hot over there. So if you're not wanting to travel during the hot weather in Europe, then I suggest to go like end of August, September, around that time before the winter season hits. And then you'll be fine. You shouldn't have a problem. If you're trying to do the Caribbean, then, and you want to do the summer because that's the only time your family's able to go, then yeah, I suggest, do it and just have a lot of faith that everything's going to be fine and dandy, and that, no hurricanes or no nothing is going to hit. And usually like this year has been very good with hurricane season. So hopefully, it keeps up that way. We have our anniversary in July, so always cruise then. We're always melting. I know. It's crazy hot over there. It's crazy because, and then you're in the middle of the ocean where there's no trees or anything like that. So if you're in the Lido deck, it is super like hot out there. But it's also very good to travel during the time. I travel in July as well. I think we went on a Journeys cruise on the Carnival Breeze. One time we did a 14-day Journeys cruise during July, and that was great. Okay, so my son says, popping in real quick to add, I didn't want to interrupt the stream. While Europe does get hot, it was only as bad as it was because there was crazy heat wave in Europe when we went. But you know what? We went during a really good time because as soon as we left, the heat wave like started. And I remember reading a document like 2 days after we got back here at home, where it said that they closed the Eiffel Tower for heat wave. It was very hot at Lookout Cay, the end of April into May. But you know what, Samara, I tell you something, that Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point, they need to do something better with the shade, because it's like a long walk. It's like maybe like half of a mile walk from ship to shore, and it gets crazy. And then you're in the middle walking, because there's like, I don't think that they still have no transportation there to log you from ship to shore. So you got to walk, look at that, a 10-minute walk. But think about it, that's you. But could you imagine a person that it's either on a wheelchair or accessibility or a cane or something? That's a long walk for those people. And it's just crazy how crazy that sun is just heating on you. And then you're just walking, maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how fast the person walks. But that is a crazy. They need to do something better over there. But it's beautiful though. I've seen it in a lot of vlogs. I have not been there. Eventually, one day I will. But I know that it's very beautiful. That whole island. I've seen a lot about Celebration Key is also coming out. That's a very nice island too that they Carnival just built. It has a lot of things to offer. I can't wait to see the one on Royal Caribbean in the Bahamas. That's going to be another one, which that one is going to be more inclusive. So you make a one payment and then you get in and all of it is included. So I'm not sure what do you guys think about, you know, those types of private islands. I know that in Across the Wave, sometime before November, we do have a one special that we're going to do about all. We're going to talk about all of the different private islands. So stay tuned for that one because that one is coming. Each of us are going to have a different private island. And we're going to bring you information on them, and then we're going to talk about it and see which one has the better things to offer. If someone needs help, they have a right that you can sign up for. Oh, okay. So they have something in guest services. So that's good to know. You know, that's good to know that Disney is actually doing, because that's brutal over there. And I've seen people that are very well, you know, with health and everything, and they still struggle a little bit with that heat, and especially like in the summertime. But yeah, I like I was talking to you guys a little bit ago. I went on the Carnival Breeze on a Journeys cruise out of Port Canaveral in July. And that was a couple of years ago. I think that was either 18 or 19 or something like that. And it was really nice. I had a great time. I don't know if CCA, if you guys have done a Journeys cruise, but if you guys have not, I suggest you do it because they actually have all these other really cool things that they do on board that they don't really usually do during like a 7-day cruise. So it's really cool. We are going to Celebration Key, not the private island, but close enough for the fourth time in December. It's a nice port. I've heard it's a really nice port, you know, to go to. Came home and started to do doing things at the house. Oh, no worries. I'm thankful that you're here. We don't care to go where we go. Honestly, our experience is only so you're more of an experienced ship person. That's good. One day we'll do a Journeys cruise once we get enough PTO. I'll tell you, the day that you guys do a Journeys cruise on Carnival, you're gonna love it because they bring on the ship like all these different performances that you don't have like on a regular cruise, and they even have like the frog competition and all sorts of different types of competition that they get going on. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time when we went. And I truly enjoyed it. But that was like before, you know, let's not even, you know, what I'm talking about, before the pandemic. And it was amazing, like amazing. Dimensional Hero. Europe doesn't get very hot. I experienced heat myself in Europe. It was hot. It was very, very hot. Like that sun was beating. It felt like the Caribbean hot up there. But I tell you that, like I said, they closed the Eiffel Tower due to a heat wave because it was just crazy. And the weird part about Europe that the AC is not like over here at all. It's kind of like mild, you know, just to you know to be mild, but not like the AC like when you put it here in the United States. It's not like that. Oh, Europe does get hot. Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. But yeah, it's crazy. Our next, oh,
hey, yeah, I was making a sandwich. Otherwise, I would have commented, but I was making a sandwich. So to specify, I know Europe gets hot. It's more the heat we got was because there was an extreme heat wave coming in.
Yeah.
And on the AC thing, I have a few friends who live in Europe, and I was really curious how they were handling that whole thing because they had to live there. Apparently, the thing with European AC is in America, it tends to get a lot hotter and there's more swings in temperature. So AC here is made to cool down the building. Whereas in Europe, because they have much colder winters, the buildings there are made to hold heat.
Right.
So when a heat wave happens, it's really bad.
Right. Look, somebody says your son wants to go on a Disney cruise.
No, I don't like Disney cruises. I'm sorry.
He does not like Disney cruises. Now, my son likes celebrity cruises. That's what he likes. That's his favorite cruise line. I don't know. Maybe I spoiled him too much. Now my daughter Sophie loves Carnival cruises. That's her favorite. No casinos on Disney. I agree with you, CCA. I agree with you. He looks just like you. Oh, thank you. But yeah, my daughter, Sophie, she's gonna be 17 next week. She loves Carnival. She enjoys her Carnival cruise and stuff like that. Jaden likes more Celebrity. I like all of them, but my favorite one is Celebrity. But I enjoy all of the cruising out there, especially a Carnival one. I know that there's brand new ships coming, so I'm looking forward to checking those out when they come in. And yeah, so I tell you, so it depends. Like when you guys are actually traveling, just keep in mind that depending on the days that you travel, make sure you're prepared. Make sure if you're traveling during the hot weather, take sun lotion and all of that. Prepare very well. Maybe get one of those little towels that you can wet and they keep cool, so you can keep your neck cool and stuff like that. Maybe take an umbrella, a UV umbrella, just in case if it gets too hot for you. That way, you're protected, from the sun at all times. And most importantly, just have fun, just enjoy. You're going cruising. When is your next cruise? Can you guys tell me when is your next cruise? My next cruise is in November. I'm going to be checking out the Celebrity Excel. So that's going to be my next cruise. That's going to be my last one for this year. And then next year, we're going to start it all over again. Soon, guys, the Europe vlogs will be coming to you guys. I have put in some Disney stuff because I've been to Disney. So I have been putting like the Disney New Parade. I've had the Disney Halloween party that we went. And I think this week, we have like the firework thing that we did there. So December, oh yeah, because this is her birthday. She's going to be 30. She's going to be 30, Miss Samara, the Queen of Disney. So there's a birthday coming. So, and also, whenever it's your birthdays, let me know that it's your birthday so we can all say happy birthday to you. It's always nice to celebrate with the community. For those of you that have not seen, I got invited to the Pete McDevitt show, and he did an interview on me. So if you type Pete McDevitt and you find Traveling with Tinkerbell, you'll see our show there. So go check it out. It was a great time with Pete and the Disney community. And I actually got invited. They're doing a get together or a meetup in December. And I'm actually going to be checking it out and going over there and meeting them. So I'm going to be vlogging that day for you guys there as well. So I'm looking forward to all the cool things. I will say, and we're going to take these last 15 minutes that are left on the show. I wanted to share some news with you guys. I want you to put on the comments if you guys have any questions, if you guys are needing any information. This Saturday is our Expedia Navigators Rally is in Orlando, and I will be over there attending the conference from like 7 in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night, something like that. So, and I will be meeting with all of the cruise lines are going to be there in the same house. We're going to have a trade show. So if there's a question, something that you want to know, information that you want to know, please, if you don't put it in the comments, and maybe between now and Friday, you guys have my cell phone or my email. Just email me or text me and say, hey, Jackie, I know you're going to the Navigators Rally. I want some information on either a river cruise, or I want information on NCL, or I'm looking for information on Royal. This is what I want you to ask, and I will get that information for you guys. And I know there's going to be a trade show there, so we get a lot of really cool stuff from the trade show. So I'm going to be bringing some cool things, and we're going to do like a little giveaway for you guys as well. So let me know if and for the replay, for the people that watch the replay, let me know if you have a question or something that you want to know, any information or specific itinerary you're not seeing yet that you're looking to maybe possibly think of booking, then let me know and I can check with them. I know that Alaska 2027 for Royal Caribbean is dropping at the end of October, mid-end of October. So if you were looking for Alaska cruises, In 2027, those will be dropping mid-October because I got an email about that. I know that for Celebrity, some itineraries already dropped. For river cruising on Celebrity, that's something that you were thinking of. Those have been sold out, but new ones are coming up. So keep in mind about those. I think the 2027 year was sold out already, but I know that there's new things coming up with Celebrity because they still got another 8 ships that they're building. With MSC, there's a lot of MSC Explorer, MSC Cruises are also bringing new ships to town. We are going to be doing a cruise, a group cruise on the first sail of the MSC World Atlantic. So I'm still working on getting that done because the dates have not dropped yet for World Atlantic. So we're going to have World Atlantic in Port Canaveral. We have World America in Miami, and no different than we have Icon in Miami and Start in Port Canaveral. I know that the Mardi Gras is now going to be coming once the Forense, is it the Forense or Festival? The Festival comes in doing a 7-day, then Mardi Gras will be doing 3 and 4 day cruises. So keep that in mind. If that's something that you're interested in, maybe never been on the Mardi Gras or never been on an Excel class Carnival ship, then, and you just want to try it, then that is your opportunity to check out the Mardi Gras. They're going to be doing 3 and 4 days when the festival arrives in Port Canaveral. So there's a lot of changes coming up. A lot of people sometimes ask me, like, why have these new, like the big ships are going 3 and 4 days? Is because, the way that they're doing it is gives the opportunity to a lot of people that can't, that they can afford sometimes pay the premium on a 7-day, but they still want to try out the mega ships, for a little lesser of a price. We want to book the festival in July 2027. That is a great ship. I know that I have a group on the festival, and I think our group, hold on, I think it's the third sailing from the first, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, hold on, because I had it. It's called Vloggers at Sea, I think is what it's called. Vloggers on the High Seas is what it's called. And it's going to be for May 29, 2027. So, and we're going to be putting, this is more for cruising with Keith. I'm helping him with that cruise. So we're going to be putting some information and things like that for you guys. I will post it here on my channel to help him out. But yeah, he has a group on there, Vloggers on the High Seas, and pretty much like all the vloggers and content creators are going to all meet together and enjoy. So if that's something that you're looking to do, then we have cabins for you guys. And let me know if you need some information. So yeah, just keep in mind, I will be going this Saturday over there. I have a lot of people that have already sent me some information. So I have a little bit of a list of different cruise companies that I'm going to be asking certain information or getting information or brochures or things like that, whatever they have for my clients. So if there's something that you need me to ask or you want some information, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to get that for you guys. And the last 9 minutes, let's just chill, relax, and just enjoy. Let's talk about, like, Samara has a cruise in December. I know that CCA wants to book the festival in 2027. I know that Jen and Donnell just got back from an MSC cruise from New York. And yeah, where is everybody else going? Like, everybody's traveling. Like right now, a lot of people are still traveling. Less kids, I'll be honest right now. Did you guys hear about NCL? They're actually giving free gratuities right now. And let me see, Virgin Voyage is actually going to start charging gratuities soon. That's a change right there. NCL is now going to only give you one entree. And if you want another one, you're going to have to pay for that. That's another news that just came out and broke, on the waves out there of the internet, because it was just crazy. People were not happy with that. At least, every cruise line is going through some changes and things like that. But it is what it is at this point. I'm not sure if you guys have heard all the commotion that's been going on with the gratuity situation. So now Virgin is going to be charging gratuities. And depending on, I think with them, is depending on the date that you sell, how much the gratuities are going to cost. And it's a little bit of a change. I have to read more into that Virgin Voyage information that we got, but I know that gratuities are coming for Virgin. So if you guys are right now booked, then you guys are grandfathered in. But those new bookings coming down the road, yeah, they will be probably having a gratuity added to those bookings. So if you are, I think I do have a couple of my customers that are right now in Virgin. I think their grandfather into that. I have to check in that for them, for the people that are traveling down the road on Virgin. But yeah, that came out in the news. I know that like with NCL right now, they're giving out free gratuities. Holland America, if you've never been on Holland and you're probably maybe thinking of doing Holland, they're actually having a sale right now as well. Royal Caribbean, I don't think right now they don't have anything on sale right now going on or any perks yet, other than the kids sell free during the off-peak season. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, saving a little bit of money there, then that might be the thing to do for you and your family. Star of the Sea was wonderful. So if you are interested in maybe trying to get on Icon or Star, we do have great Expedia rates for Star. So let me know. I'll be more than happy to get that information out to you guys as well. So let me think what else is going on in the. It's a lot. Everything is changing all the time. Matthew McConaughey, I think is his name. It's going to be him and his wife are going to be the godparents of the Sun Princess or the Star Princess, one of those princess cruise. That information just came in a little bit ago. So I still got to figure out, all that information and watch it. But I know that they're going to be the godmother and godfather of one of the princess ships. So that's kind of cool to see. I think that one is sailing also in November. So not sure if you guys are Princess, being that CCA loves Carnival. That's a sister ship to the Carnival fleet. Maybe that's something that you guys might be interested in checking it out. It is a little bit of a different vibe, to be honest with you, CCA, because it's not one of those vibes like, like the party scene on Carnival and all of that stuff. Hopefully, with everything that's going on, even right now, with all the different situations that Carnival has gone through, they actually have been profitable, and which is great. And I like it because my stock is just going up. It went down a little bit, but it's going back up. So we good. We are good in the stock market there with Carnival. If you're a royal, if you have a royal stock, they're good too. So we're moving forward. Maybe one day we get a casino deal. So right, we can now pass them. Yeah, casino deals. We also diamonds for life. So hey, I tell you, loyalty is great. If you're diamond, you have hit the jackpot with that stuff. I'm platinum right now, CCA, and I don't think, because it's like till May of 2026. I don't think I'll be diamond over in Carnival. But I'm okay with it. I'm cool. And, I'm cool with it because I get to travel in other different lines. And I still love Carnival no matter what. So I will still travel on Carnival, whether I'm platinum, diamond, gold, red, blue, whatever the case is. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't go in there for their perks. I go to Carnival because that's when I started cruising. I did a whole lot of Carnival, and I enjoy the Carnival product. But I know a lot of people are not happy with that. Diamond and platinum difference with the new program is not much. It really is not. It's just a little bit of a difference. But it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cruise no matter what. And I'm just going to enjoy and be happy. And, it is what it is. And I know that I will probably be platinum for like 2 years or so like that. So I still have some perks for 2 years. And then we'll see what happens with that. But look, see, like you guys, I never cruise for the loyalty either. I just cruise because I just enjoy it. If it comes with a perk, it comes with the perks. But it doesn't make any difference to me one way or another, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, but there's a lot of information that I provided for you guys today. Hopefully that that you guys enjoy it and maybe you learn something new. So that's what I'm trying to bring to you guys. It's something new every week so that you guys can learn a little bit more. And if there's a topic that you guys want me to bring on the show, let me know. I will also be talking to Dave Control. He sometimes comes to the show. He also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to be going over there to him one of these Thursdays and do a live stream with him because he wants me to talk about travel and travel advisor stuff to his Disney community. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the week. You too, CCA. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys being here today. But like I said, let me know if you guys have any questions for this Saturday or any questions at all. I'll be more than happy to answer. And let me know how you guys like this live stream. Put it on in the comments. Share with your friends and family. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. I don't think we're going to make it. Maybe we could make it because we're like at 26 something right now. Hopefully, I was hoping to be at 30 by maybe December. Next year, we have a really cool surprise for the channel. Next year is going to be a brand new everything next year. So we're preparing for that as well. So just keep in touch with the live stream, with the channel, because there's a lot of cool things coming down the way. We have a whole lot of vlogs from Europe coming down as well. We have a little bit of more Disney to come this coming week. I think we have our last Disney, which is the fireworks for the Halloween party that we went. And then hopefully next week, we're going to start Europe and you get to see everything we got to do in Europe. And maybe that will give you kind of like a little bit of insight of, either what to do or where to go and things like that. If you're ever traveling, the way that we did it in Europe, we got Get Your Guide. And I thank Jen and Donnell for that because they were actually helped me, says, go to Get Your Guide and they will get you all the tickets. So kudos to Jen and Donnell for that tip. And I got a lot of M gave me a tip to eat a sandwich in Paris, which we tried. So thank you, M, for that information. So I think I messaged M from Paris and I said, I'm having the sandwich that you told me about. So that was great to have over there in Paris. So with that being said, guys, I love you guys all to the moon and back. Please stay safe. God bless each and every one of you guys. And I will see you tomorrow on our Across the Wave. And I think tomorrow we are in the port of Qatar, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think we're in the port of Qatar. So I will see you with Cruising with Keith tomorrow at 8 p.m. See you until next time. Toodaloo. Toodaloo, guys. Bye-bye.